Gas prices hit $4.56 a gallon in May. It had started the year at just $2.83. One conflict on a shipping route did that in 5 months. But an electric vehicle owner never felt this change. Charging at home stays around 4 cents a mile no matter where gas prices go. But sell that same EV 5 years later and the story completely flips. It loses around 58% of its value. A comparable gas car depreciates 45.6% in the same period. On a $40,000 car, that gap alone is worth more than 2 years of the gas money you saved. Both of these facts are true, just at different points in the ownership timeline. So this is the story of how much an EV costs, from start to finish. And is it really financially a better buy? Let's find out. Let's start what actually changed this year, because it sets the baseline for everything else. The federal government used to pay up to $7,500 to buy a new EV, and up to $4,000 to buy a used one. That credit ended September 30th, 2025, cut short by the One Big Beautiful Bill. The scheme was originally scheduled to run until 2032. Take the 2026 Chevrolet Equinox as an example. The gas version starts at $30,495. The electric version, on the other hand, starts at $36,495. That's $6,000 with no credit left to close it. So every EV buyer in 2026 starts $6,000 behind the gas version of the same car. The first year is where that $6,000 gap starts closing fastest. Charging at home runs 4 to 5 cents a mile. Gas at today's price of $4 a gallon runs about 13 cents a mile for the same distance. That makes home charging roughly a third of the cost. Maintenance closes the gap even further. The Department of Energy puts EV maintenance at about 6 cents a mile, against 10 cents for a gas car, because electric vehicles have no oil changes, no timing belts to replace, and far fewer parts that can fail. Consumer reports in earlier studies found EV owners paying roughly half what gas owners pay over the life of the car. But one thing pulls the other way. EV tires wear 15 to 30% faster, because the car is heavier and the torque hits instantly, adding back $200 to $800 a year. But regenerative braking cuts the other side though. Braking wear drops 64 to 95% because of this technology. If you talk about the net result, the EV still comes out ahead on maintenance, just not by quite as much as half the cost alone suggests. So 1 year in, that $6,000 gap from day 1 is already smaller. Keep driving that same EV into year 2 and 3, and the average American's daily habits start to matter more than the sticker price ever did. The average American drives 37 miles a day, according to the Department of Energy's own transportation data. A modern EV goes 250 to 300 miles or more on a full charge. So most days, that's just 8 to 16% of what the car can actually do. But there are two factors that complicate that math though. Cold weather below 20 degrees cuts real-world range by 20 to 40%. So a 300-mile car can quietly become a 200-mile car in winters. According to a 2024 study, more than 40% of people who already own an EV had thought about switching back to gas car over range anxiety specifically. So for most daily driving, range anxiety doesn't really hold up. But for cold climates, long drives, or unreliable home charging, it definitely does. Before any of that range anxiety debate, there's one fear that comes up first. It's the battery cost. An out-of-warranty battery replacement costs $5,000 to $20,000. That number is real, and is the one number most people fixate on. But here's the part that usually gets left out right after it. Every new electric vehicle carries a federal minimum warranty of 8 years or 100,000 miles. On top of that, California requires 10 years and 150,000 miles warranty on 2026 models. And when researchers actually tracked real EVs on real roads, battery replacement happened in under 4% of vehicles across every model year. For cars built in 2022 or later, it dropped to just 0.3%. So the battery replacement cost is actually true, and that's why people fear it. But how often the battery replacement happens to someone isn't anywhere close. All of that brings us to year 5, where the early savings finally meet their test. By now, the average EV has lost 58.8% of its value. A comparable gas car has lost 45.6% in that same stretch. On a $40,000 vehicle, that's over $5,000 more gone. The BMW i7 makes the point clearly. It retains just 26.4% of its value after 5 years, while the gas-powered 7 Series retains 38.2%. Tesla is the one real exception over here. The Model 3 and Model Y hold value close to a comparable gas car. Put the whole timeline together, and the honest answer depends on which version of it you are actually living in. If it's just home charging, a normal daily commute, and keeping the car past 5 years, the fuel and maintenance savings outlast the depreciation hit. The math favors the EV, especially with gas above $4 a gallon right now. If it's public charging, large distance travel, harsh winters, or trading every 2 to 3 years instead, the story runs the other way. The depreciation hit lands before the early savings ever catch up, and public charging prices can erase the fuel advantage almost entirely. Insurance costs splits along the same line as well. Averaged across every EV on the road, coverage costs 42% more than a comparable gas car. Narrow that down to 2024 and newer models, and the gap drops to just 18%. So Tesla's Model 3 and Model Y come closest to a universal recommendation, simply because they avoid this depreciation problem anyone else on this list eventually runs into. For everything else, the honest answer is to run the math against your own driving habits, your own climate, and your own trade-in habits. Because electric vehicles, for some, may be the real deal. But for some who travel large distances and have to use public charging, then it's a different story for them. So there is no right and wrong in this picture. So both the sides of this argument are telling the truth. They are just describing a different chapter of the same ownership story. That's it for today's video. If you haven't seen our video on why new cars became unaffordable in the first place, that context sits right alongside this one. So go to the channel and watch the video. And if you like this video, please subscribe. We cover business and finance of anything and everything around the world. And I'll see you in the next one.